What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another weekly forecast. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Middle of August, right into summer as well. So I hope it's good weather wherever you are. Interesting week with some news. We had CPI, which initially pushed the price a little bit to the downside and to the upside. So again, in terms of dollar, we are in a range. Looking at the news for next week, it's going to be quiet in the beginning, but then on Thursday we are going to have another manufacturing and services PMI. So that's usually has been some news that creates some volatility. So expect volatility on Thursday, and then on Friday that's going to be an interesting one. In the last few years, it has been a quite volatile day anytime you have the Jackson Hole Symposium, and especially when Fetcher Powell speaks in there. Right, so expect volatility. It's going to be on the 23rd of August. It's going to be also the first time that the Fetcher Powell is going to speak after what happened basically almost 10 days ago, right? After what happened since we had the last NFP and then big sell-off on Monday morning 1 week ago. So that's going to be an interesting one, because since then, basically the odds in terms of interest rate cuts, they are messed up, where at this point you are looking for, oh, it's actually back kind of to normal. So initially all this moved, like the odds, they were by all of a sudden 50 basis points to even 75 basis points, a potential rate cut already in September after that sell-off. But apparently the market finally is adjusting to a potential only 25 basis points, with only 25% odds of a 50 basis points in here. All right, and also in terms of in November, another 25 basis points, and then into December, at this point the odds are, yeah, between 41 and 40 and 42. So yeah, we'll see. So Friday, when the Fetcher Powell is going to speak at the Jackson Hole, expect some volatility in there. So that's going to be an interesting one to see. In terms of the market, right? So we had a big recovery last week on the indices. They are basically all the way back, getting in a really interesting level to see if they're going to try to approach the new all-time highs, or are going to continue or start reversing from here and eventually moving to the downside again. We had gold breaking new all-time highs, so that's an interesting one. If you guys watched the video that I shared about all-time highs, gold moved exactly like I mentioned in the video. Initially respected the previous all-time high, went up, then respected the demand that created the all-time high, and then went up again, right? So that's the opportunity there that I mentioned in the video, and yeah, you can rewatch it and then you'll see exactly what happened in there, right? So I shared in the video the first opportunity that you have as soon as price breaks new all-time highs. But let's take a look into this now, right? So again, dollar is still holding in here, right? So the lows, they managed to be respected. We mentioned or talked about this level in here. We mentioned that there was a fresh level in here that price could still react from it and push price to the upside. Price did exactly that, but it respected straight away, or filled straight away this space in here. Right, so that range, it was filled immediately with this strong move to the upside. And with that in mind, now we are back in here. So there was no engulf to the upside in here. Price didn't even manage to basically even take this size or get a little bit closer to here. No, price just respected that level, which means that I'm not that confident now that price may start moving to the upside from here again. Maybe the likelihood is for price to finally continue to move a bit more to the downside. Now, let's remember that the euro already broke the same respective high that when this was created. And in my opinion, as I mentioned several times, dollar index is still trading within this compression zone, which means that I think in the bigger picture, we are going to be targeting more this low before any attempt to look for a big reversal. So before any big reversal that we may expect in here on dollar index, I think price first is going to target this low, is going to go below that low and maybe get a little bit closer into this level. And if that's the idea, all right, because maybe what's going to happen is that price starting to break into this level and eventually is going to just continue to move to the downside and actually start looking to target this low in there, which in my opinion as well, we kind of still have this level behind as well. So, but that's something to look at. We can try to see in the lower time frame if there's still something in here that price can use or can hold. So that's going to be interesting to see what kind of opening we are going to have in a few hours when the market opens for this week, if this level in here on the dollar index holds or not. Again, as I mentioned, price respecting that, price respecting this high, that was a little bit of a bearish sign in here that you may actually challenge and break them and break the lows. So that's something to bear in mind in here, in alignment with the rest of the bigger picture that we have in there of potentially price going even further down in there. So again, it was a strong end of the week. Basically, price closed quite bearish in here on the dollar and the opposite on the other dollar pairs. Moving along into the US indices, right? So this is what we have. So we had that move to the upside after the CPI. And price just continued to move a little bit more higher. Again, we mentioned that part, like we mentioned this, the part where there weren't that many things around this level in here to hold price to downside. There was a little bit of compression here above this level. Basically, there was a full space in here, basically without any resistance to hold price down. It was just a normal move to the upside, which is exactly what happened in there. And now we are here, right? So basically we are retesting this high in here on the S&P. We had the initial move on Friday, but price then managed to close quite strongly to the upside. So we have a really strong weekly candle also on the S&P, and we are going to be looking to see if price, especially what happens after price breaks this high. Like, is it going to break this high and start going straight away into more kind of targeting that level, which is the all-time high, or there's going to be something in here that price can use and eventually correct and move to the downside. So whatever happens in here, that's going to be an interesting key point to look for, because that can be the level where you can have a reversal on the S&P, on the indices, if that's actually what it's about to happen. Otherwise, price will just continue to respect the previous lows in there, and is going to continue to go higher, maybe respect a little bit of this high as well, and continue to push to the upside until eventually starts targeting those highs in there. Again, there's maybe something in here as well that can still bounce a little bit, but if price just starts respecting every single low and continue to go higher like this, then yes, we may be targeting all-time highs. But just to recap, after you start noticing price starting to break a little bit more to the upside, especially breaking again above these highs, the tendency will be for price to start filling this level in here. Now we are there. All right, so there was no point in looking for sales before, especially after price starts breaking these highs. In here, just let price go, let price fill the range. And now, yes, now is the moment that we can start paying attention to see if there is any signs of reversal around this level. If there aren't, then we just continue to let price move upwards. And if you are bullish and if you want to continue to look for longs, then you can just continue to do that. Right? Maybe retest a little bit the lows or wait for price to break the highs, retest and continue to go higher. You know, your trading continuation setups that you can look for in here. In terms of any levels in here on the left side, yes, we may still have a little bit of this level, question mark about this one in here, and let's see what's going to happen in there, right? But just to have in mind, like, how important this Jackson Hole speech can be. If you actually recall what happened back, for example, in 2022, where are we? Like in 2022, it was around this level in here. Like 26th of April, if not 26th of August, if not mistaken, is basically the moment where price gained a lot of momentum to the downside. It was during that speech on Jackson Hole. In here, it's a moment where we don't really hear anything from the Fed, or in particular from the Jerome Powell for a while, and all of a sudden he has this speech. So all the market is anticipating, or has been anticipating for a few weeks, to hear from him and to start making predictions on what to expect next. And maybe if we actually then take a look into what happened last time as well, it was again some kind of Friday in here, most likely on the 25th of August. Like we had a big move to the, is it to the upside? There we go. We had a strong move to the upside as well on that day in here. So as you can see, expect some volatility on Friday during that conference. All right, so this is the S&P, NASDAQ. NASDAQ, maybe in some servers, it already even managed to break this high. In some others, maybe it's still respected in here. So we'll see what's going to happen. We do have this gap in there that you can look for. Price eventually can target that level, 1%. We also had that initial move down on Friday, and then price starting to go slightly higher in here. So we'll see. At this point, I think we are targeting this high, and most likely price may actually go all the way and break this high. So again, we'll see what's going to happen. It's nice that price kind of respected a little bit more of the structure now from here. So yes, paying attention to see what may happen around this structure. Again, with the possibility to maybe fake out the highs a little bit. Or getting a little bit closer into this level. And then you even still have all this structure in there that NASDAQ can still react from. All right. There are still a few levels in here at the highs that NASDAQ can end up reacting and trying to push more to the downside. So we'll see what's going to happen in there. On the bigger picture, as you know, in reality, this low actually reacted quite nicely from this structure, which means that basically it closed out the gap in here from this move that happened in there and now from here to there. So again, question mark is, are you going to go all the way back into something in here from here, or there's going to be something in here in the middle that price can now use and try to challenge a bit more towards to the downside in here. So we'll see what's going to happen in here on NASDAQ. Yeah, Dow just continues also this momentum to the upside. Curious to see how price may react a little bit from this level in here. So that's going to be a little bit of the next key zone on the Dow, and after that we'll see what may happen. Again, initial move to the downside, but then correction straight away, kind of respect to that zone in there. That's what we have, so we'll see. And then we have also DAX, which continue to move to the upside, and I'm curious to see how price may react from this level. Like, so I'm letting the DAX move. I start to enjoy this type of compression that we have in here. We start compressing a little bit around this level. So I'm curious to see if price does get closer to this level, and maybe that's going to be the moment where we can look for a little bit more of bigger sells. Now, there have been already opportunities to sell the market. As I mentioned, we go from that basically phase 1, then starting to get into this phase 2, and we get the separation, and now we start into this now compression zone again, until eventually we start maybe breaking some structure somewhere in here until we have the turn. Right, so expect a little bit of compression now from around this level, and really curious to see how price may react from around this level in here. All right, so that's going to be quite an interesting one on the DAX. That's where I'm going to be looking for as well. Maybe I even already broke this high, maybe not yet. Maybe after breaking that high can create a little bit more of compression in here. Yeah, targeting that level is going to be quite interesting. And then looking into crypto, right? So good correction in here on BTC after that move down on Thursday. Basically price pick out at the bottom, that's nice, and it came back into this structure in here, right? That's basically the key level at this point. The price had broken below that level, everything in here is compressed and price can start targeting that zone, but price actually ended up respecting, and I believe that actually price respected that level in here, right? So it's even higher. Maybe on the world time frame you can even see exactly where price reacted from, but yeah. But in the bigger picture, it looks like actually there's a little bit of space in here that can still push price down. Now we have all these highs in here collecting liquidity, so price may actually fake out those levels, but we may still even have something in here first to see price bounce from. So that's going to be something we are compressing at this point in here. So either price creates something like that and goes, or is going to start building momentum in here and may do something like that. That's going to be something to look at. Ethereum also correcting after respecting this low, so it made the move down, respected the lows, and now it's moving higher with the potential looking for price to get a bit closer into this level in there. Solana, yeah, correcting a little bit as well in here. nice compression there. Yeah, we'll see. Solana could definitely challenge at least these levels in here. So we'll see. Looking at the indices, like, so Euro Index, good reaction. So we went to the upside. We got really close now to this upper extreme in here. So price went down after that. And now good reaction so far from this demand zone. Basically the move that started, that created all this upside in here on the Euro Index. And yeah, we can eventually just resume the move to the upside from here. So nice retest. And now potentially can continue. Or you can find some level of resistance somewhere in here in a mix. Not sure about this level in here personally. We could go slightly higher and maybe find something closer a bit more to the top, when in reality you can even go slightly higher, maybe towards that level. That may be actually the final destination here of this move to the upside, maybe somewhere in there. So that's something also for the Euro Index to look for. Yeah, we'll see, but good reaction from this level. So yeah, we'll see. If this one continues to go higher, then Euro may continue to go higher, which means that dollar may go down. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen in there. And then we have the Yen Index, which finally made a little bit of a move in here, right? So that was something that we looked for, if you remember. So we didn't really like any structure in there. After price starting to touch this level so many times, we're looking for price to actually move to the downside. All this was compressed as well, and all of a sudden you are targeting a bit more this level in here, right? We're looking at these lows in here with this Quasimodo level in there, that left shoulder. So that's a good level basically for price to end up reacting from in here. Okay. Nah. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how price may react around this level in here. If it starts breaking a little bit more to the upside. If it starts breaking above this structure, now bear in mind that we still have in here, price can still respect it, but that can already be a beginning of a break to the upside from here. And from here, price may just correct a little bit before actually does something like that. And in here, then we have almost all of it compressed. Not all of it, actually price may still respect from this level. This level, okay, maybe compressed already. But yes, from here, if you start breaking a little bit back into this structure to the upside, you may have that challenge to retest this level in here. And that's something to bear in mind on the end. Again, many levels still need to be broken until price even gets there. First and foremost is this one, where price still needs to break definitely this supply level. This is not a bad level where price is reacting in here. Personally, I don't think it's a bad level. Eventually, price could still actually even go below that level and get closer to here, okay? Or even eventually towards this level. But for now, this level in here definitely is not a bad level. So good reaction, good PI in here on the Yen Index. We again start breaking some highs, respected levels. Broke the highs first, fake out, break new highs, kind of a Quasimodo in there. So we'll see. This low at this point may still have a little bit more of space. Not low, sorry. This high may have not really reacted from anything just yet, so it may still have more space to go higher. The same way that if price still wants to retest these lows, there's maybe still something in here that price can use and eventually target to the upside from here. So again, yen pairs, I think they're going to be quite interesting this week, and to see if we have a continuation to downside or starting to have a little bit of a correction up from this level in here. So moving along now to the individual currency pairs, like, so starting with the euro. As you could see, right, so we had that initial push to the upside where it broke this high. Then we had a correction, good reaction from this level in here, and now we are back at challenging these highs once again. Right, again, question mark is about this euro dollar. Is the euro dollar reacting from anything relevant in here, or do we think that the euro dollar still wants to get closer to these highs? Personally, in the bigger picture, I do think that euro dollar still wants to go slightly higher. I could see the euro dollar maybe getting closer to that level, the same way that the dollar index could also continue to move to the downside. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, if price does want to respect anything in here at the highs, there's maybe still a level in there that price could react from, and then we'll paying attention to see how price may react around this level in here to see if there's a continuation or not from this point on. Right, because this will actually respected quite nicely this level. There's not exactly an engulf down in here, and at this point it looks like that price is more getting a bullish momentum in here, breaking new highs, still respecting the lows, so we may have a continuation to the upside. And yes, there's still definitely space for the euro dollar to go and perhaps going closer to that zone in there. So again, maybe today price is going to open, maybe react a little bit from that level, and maybe just tomorrow price will go and break the highs. Who knows? But bigger picture, that's a little bit more of the bias that I have, looking for the euro to move up and maybe the dollar to move down for the time being. Pound, beautiful, right? So we talked about pound and we talked about this big opportunity that we had. So since we created the lows in here, beginning of August, price reacted perfectly from that level. We mentioned that as soon as if price does break above this level, there's a high probability that price would eventually fill out this compression. Now, that doesn't mean price will move just in a straight line. Of course, price can bounce from some places that maybe they are still fresh. We talked about that level as well. Initially, we even talked about this one. Price didn't really react from it. Then there was that level. There was maybe a little bit of this level in here. And that was actually a little bit of where price bounced in here. Broke the high, retested, and now moves higher. And now you have all this compression. So we are targeting this level in here at this point. So that's the minimum of where we want to see pound dollar going towards to, right? Until we eventually starts creating some kind of zone 3 type of a move. Or for now, actually can eventually take these highs, maybe a good reaction from that level, and start moving a bit more to the downside in here. So that's really nice on the pound. Again, understanding compression, understanding space, understanding where price is reacting from or coming from, and where does he want to go. This can give you a great opportunity and clue to understand what kind of space and opportunities we can look for. All right, again, yes, created some manipulation here in the middle. That's typical. In the middle, it needs to create manipulation in order to continue in the same direction. So we need to create some lows or even break some highs, but then create some kind of double bottoms or something like that that can create liquidity in order then for price to give another push to the upside. So that happened. Price went up, basically just retested then this structure, and now it continued to move higher again. Strong end of the week in here also on the pound in there. All right, so again, moving along, right? So we have euro pound, which euro pound unfortunately actually started to move to the downside. Didn't really had that deeper retracement that I was looking for, a bit closer to this level. It just paused in here, and now it resumed the move down. We talked about this break below it, so that was more of an engulf down. Again, price is reacting from a good level on the left side. Yeah, unfortunately, price didn't really retest a bit closer to this level in here to start looking for the sales. It's just paused in the middle. It is what it is. Eventually, I still like the idea of price still respecting that level in the future, but for now, price is somewhere in here, right? So let's see what's going to happen. This is not a bad level where the euro pound is reacting from, but the same way that the pound dollar may still wants to go slightly higher, I think euro pound may still wants to move slightly lower before potentially starting to move to the upside, right? But nice little move as well in here. Now price is compressing a little bit. Eventually could have a little bit of a response in here more to the upside. But again, another prediction that we made in here on the euro pound in looking for those reversals. Aussie dollar just continues to move higher, so it continues. We talked about that as well. So some stuff in here, it looked like there was nothing relevant that could pause price. Maybe around this previous structure in here, as you could see, there was a little bit of structure in there, but in the bigger picture, especially from where price is coming from at this point, maybe the target is going to be actually getting closer to this level in there. So maybe that's going to be a bit more of the target on this Aussie dollar. Price just continues to move to the upside in here, and that's going to be a little bit of the expectation to see Aussie dollar getting a little bit first maybe in there, and then start getting closer to this range in there. So that's just what we have. Again, can bounce a little bit in here before anything else, but we'll see. Which then takes us into the other Aussie pairs, Euro Aussie, Pound Aussie, and so on, where we are still looking a bit more for a continuation to the downside as well. Like, so price reacted perfectly from that level after slightly taking that low. And there is the expectation that maybe price actually can just resume the move to the downside. Now price can have some moderate retracement in here. There's maybe some orders in there that maybe price still needs to fill. So price may retrace before moving down. So that's something to bear in mind in here as well. Now, is price still going to respect this demand zone in here? That's a question mark, and that's maybe the first opportunity as well to start potentially looking for longs. Otherwise, price will just start breaking that, and you can start actually looking further down in here on the Euro Aussie. Yeah, nice reaction in there. Again, it was with the news. Then we have Pound Aussie, that was another one. So we've been waiting for price to react from here. Again, it was with the news, I think unemployment in Australia. We did manage already to break slight of these lows in here. Price is respecting this level. Yeah, perhaps you could continue to move a little bit lower, but we have also a strong pound going on. So Pound Aussie actually starts back getting into this range. Right, so we have Aussie dollar moving up, and then you have Pound dollar also moving up. All of a sudden, this Pound Aussie is just ranges in here in the mix, and we'll see which direction we are going to eventually to go towards to. And then Aussie yen, right? So this was a great move. This was something that we were looking for. This was the move on Friday morning. So we talked about price taking these highs in here and start reacting from some structure in there. That's what happened. So price initially took the highs, but then still kept respecting this level. Nice compression. We finally managed to break above this, and really nice move. Where towards to? There you go. Just literally closing the spice in here from the previous level of resistance. Becomes a new level of support. May even have missed the demand zone. So there's maybe even a potential continuation a bit more to the downside in there to look for. But nice, interesting move. So we'll see what's going to happen around this structure in here on Aussie yen. With the yen pairs as well, as we mentioned, with the yen index, I think we're going to have interesting moves, and if the yen index does start to break above those highs, most likely we have the yen pairs moving a bit more to the downside. And bear in mind, on the Aussie yen, we do have this break of a low in here, which in my opinion is quite interesting and important for a potential move to the downside on the Aussie yen. So yeah, we'll see how price may react from this structure. Looking at the rest of the yen pairs, starting with the dollar yen, there you go, some reaction in here from this level of structure after price breaking away from this level, and we are back now at this demand zone, right? Basically the move that created that push to the upside in there. Good reaction from that supply level. Yep, that's perfect. So we'll see now if price does manage to break below that or not. Right, so that's the question mark in here now, which direction actually price is going to go and move towards to. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, so there's a lot of compression in here. So as well, if price starts breaking that level, then you can have a bit more of a move in there. And at the highs, maybe there's still even a chance, if price does want to retrace one more time, maybe a chance to look for a new sell in there. But yeah, for sure, we are now trading within this level. Euro yen, quite similar as well, came all the way back in here to test this demand zone. We kind of missed a little bit still this level, so we are still trading a little bit within this range in there, kind of that gap. So that's a little bit of where we are on this Euro yen. Yes, we did manage to break below those levels, and then price just retested and moved to the downside. So that was positive kind of for anyone that was looking for that setup, with target of course retesting this demand zone in here. Yeah, it's at the good key levels in here. All right, so next, pound yen, right? So continuation as well, so nice move to downside. It may have still missed a little bit of that level, so that's something to look for. May have all this liquidity potentially target in here. Nice break of a low. Price got yeah, still far away from this next structure. Opposite, as you can see, the dollar yen or euro yen, which is already reacting from this level, or Aussie yen as well. Pound yen is still far away from it, which means that maybe there's a bit more room to downside in here on the pound yen. Eventually, maybe first wants to go higher, maybe fake out this level in here, and after that maybe can have a deeper reversal setup playing out in here after maybe price get some levels from there. So that's something to bear in mind in here as well on the pound yen for this week. So hopefully price will go higher first before anything else. All right, now dollar CAD finally moving. So we have been stuck within this range as well, like for 10 days so far. Price again, good PA around this level in here. The kind of break out, break highs, respect that level, but it kept respecting this level, even though it looks like so many times that it was creating momentum to break above this level. It didn't really manage to, and the sellers continue to push price down. Like we have been bearish. Personally, as you know, I have been bearish on the dollar CAD, especially when price is within this level. I don't really like anything in here. I'll just skip it and I will just wait for dollar CAD, sorry, to start getting closer to something in here. Can even fake out this low, as I mentioned, so that could be eventually a scenario, and after that we could go higher, right? Maybe after price reacts maybe from that level. Before that, yeah, just continue to go a little bit with this sell momentum on the dollar CAD, and you'll see what's going to happen next in here as well. Yeah, with really interesting move to downside all the way through. Yeah, so that's nice on the dollar CAD. Euro CAD, it's in a range now, right? So we did manage to create eventually that high, respected that low, and now we respected that previous level in here of support resistance basically, and goes all the way back into the same, exactly the same level in there. So that's something to bear in mind. Now we broke a little bit this level, but we are in the middle. If you want to trade this intraday, maybe you can. Personally, and at this point, so we've been interested in this Euro CAD at the extremes. In here, personally, actually was looking for that extra fake out and then move higher. It never happened. But yeah, close to the extremes when it's in the middle. Personally, it's not my A+ setup in there. Yeah, but it could eventually get that into that zone. Pound CAD. Pound CAD just continued to move higher as well. Like we talked about, to react a little bit from this level, but then you can even start targeting a little bit more to the upside. And again, breaking above this level, there's maybe some liquidity above this level that price could use a little bit in here, but aside from that as well, almost everything is compressed, and they are going to be looking for this pound CAD eventually to get into that zone. So yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen around this level. Price already got close to it. Maybe we can create a little bit more of liquidity into that zone and start pushing a bit more to the downside. Dollar franc Swiss. So initially as was about to have a little bit of a reaction from this level, then we have all this compression, good zone a little bit above where we had in there. We start breaking some lows, so that's exactly what we want to look for. And now we have the fake out, and we're going to pay attention to see how price may react from these extremes in here, right? From the lower edge and this upper edge in there. Unfortunately, yeah, there was maybe a little bit more of a space into here, which may just work as a potential level to look for a sell on this dollar franc Swiss, especially if price even managed to break this well first. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, so dollar franc Swiss as well, quite interesting. And then we have gold, where it finally managed to break those highs, right? So creating new all-time highs in here on gold. Now at this point, it's already touching 2,500, so that's a mark by itself. This is what I mentioned before, right? That we made the video where we have the support resistance, in this case it's just the previous all-time high. And then we have the demand zone that actually managed to break the all-time high. In this case, this demand zone also managed to break all these previous highs just next to the all-time high. Like, and there you go. That's the demand zone in there that you can look for. In here, so initially goes up, retest exactly the all-time high, goes up again. Yeah, that's nice. Starts giving information that wants to go higher. I created even a double bottom in here, goes higher one more time, and then finally it break through, respected the level. Usually it's going to be the first demand zone, or the demand zone that's created to break the highs in there. As you can see, there's a level in here, but the bigger one is slightly lower, and then there you go. It just continues to go higher, and eventually in here it's actually nice level to look for an entry in alignment with this left shoulder in there. There you go, continuation, and now breaking even new all-time highs in there. And with that being said, we'll see what's going to happen next. Like before anything else, we need to see weakness on gold before even attempting to look for a reversal. In terms of trend continuation, yeah, can maybe just continue to look for some retracements before you go all the way through. Continue to look for longs in here. And then we have also, can take a look at silver. Maybe silver is going to catch up with gold and start a bullish run in here as well. Again, we have been starting to go, or we are starting to be bullish as well when price started to respect that level on the outside. So that's a nice one. And now he's basically challenging these highs again. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in here on silver. But maybe that can be the resume of a move to the upside in here. Again, bigger picture, it's actually kind of a nice Victor level in there. So we'll see. Nice, important to look. And then we go into oil, and oil has been just correcting as well. So we reacted from that level. We have this low again. This low actually managed to break the previous low in there. So that actually can be a little bit as an engulf to the downside. And this level is a great extreme zone for price to actually potentially resume to move down and go below those lows. That's actually a nice level. This was the previous level support resistance as well. This level, that's an important move that we have in there. And we'll see what's going to happen next in here. Personally, I still like this level in here. I'm not the biggest fan maybe in here. Yeah, just keep tracking oil to see where is the next opportunity to look for. That is, especially if you do get close to the extremes, those are always going to be even better opportunities to look for in there. And then we have Brent as well. Yeah, so it took the high, right? Pick out the high. Yeah, it can continue to move a little bit more to downside. We'll see how price respect this level. Even Brent eventually could go there. That's one of my favorites at this point. Could even break completely everything in here, maybe create some compression and then eventually go like that. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here. And that's basically it in terms of what you are looking for next week. Again, news wise, not really much in the beginning of the week. We do have, if not mistaken, CPI in Canada, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, but the main ones are going to start on Thursday with manufacturing services PMI, so expect some volatility. And services have been quite good overall across the world, manufacturing not so much. So that's going to be another indicator to see if the economy is still steady after all this uncertainty that we had. Then gold's an interesting one. We'll be breaking all-time highs. Let's see if it's going to continue with the momentum or not, if we have some kind of reversal from where it is. Indices really critical as well, so we are getting close to an important level now that we retest the highs that made the move to the downside. So it's a key level in here to see how price is going to react around these highs. You can break the highs and then start moving lower. Somebody can break the highs and can start targeting a little bit more the previous all-time highs. So this is a key level in here on the indices that it's worth to pay attention to, because price may actually start showing some clues that may want to reverse. And then in terms of the dollar, let's see if it resumes to move to the downside and it breaks the previous low that we have, and also that low on the left side that we also talked about. That would mean that the euro and the pound and so on will continue to move slightly higher, and I think that could happen. I think I could see pound dollar, for example, moving slightly higher until it targets a bit more those highs in there. Same thing with the euro as well, could continue to move slightly higher in there. Now, for example, on the pound, it has been really bullish across the last few days. Just with one bearish candle, and aside from that, really bullish with a strong weekly candle in there. So yeah, that's another one that you have. And then of course the yen pairs as well. They're quite interesting to see what the yen index is going to do. Is it going to break the highs and starting to go again to the upside, which means that all these yen pairs are going to actually move to the downside? That's the question mark in here to see what's going to happen as well with the yen pairs for this week. With that being said, thank you very much, guys. Again, I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks at least. Yeah, next 2 weekends I'm going to Greece, so there's not going to be any streams, and tomorrow I will not be able to do neither the pre-market analysis because I have an appointment. So no pre-market analysis as well on tomorrow, and then there's no point on doing another one because I'm going on Wednesday morning to Greece. So with that being said, I'm going to be away for a while, and then I will be back and resume with all the live streams and sharing even more content as well on YouTube. I already recorded an interesting video that I think is going to be quite relevant. So how to separate the trend in 4 different phases, and I'm really curious to see how you guys react to the video, and if you guys start applying it or not, or if you find it useful to apply to your own analysis. That's going to be a series that I'm going to make. Initially just a quick overview, and then individually I'm going to talk about each one of those those phases. So enjoy the rest of the month. Enjoy August. Be safe. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of volatility in the market. We are in a really interesting period, and I believe that it's going to carry on until the end of the year, or at least until November, when you have the US election. And after that, of course, we are going to jump straight away into the end of the year. So it's basically 4 months until the end of the year. So stay focused, stay disciplined, stay active, and let's have a strong end of August and then a strong end of the year. Thank you, guys. If you are new, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that as well. So thank you. I'll see you next time. Obrigado.